What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I have a story that was sent in to me about this stupid kid that tried to fight the bus driver. I'm only saying stupid because trying to fight the person operating the machinery is a bad idea. Before we get into it, be sure to press the like button, or no joke, no scam, this will happen to you. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. Seriously, don't fight bus drivers. It's not a good idea.
Nice racking her ass Brazilian, just turned 21, but my bank's a million.
Alright guys, so like I said, this was a subscriber story that was sent in to me, and this subscriber had the unfortunate luck of having to ride the bus to and from school every day, and I've told stories about the bus before. It's just basically the Wild West. You know, kids kind of do whatever they want. It's very hard for someone to drive and control a bus full of kids, so things tend to get out of control, and that's not necessarily a good thing, it just is what it is. And on this subscriber's bus, there happened to be one kid that took that to the next level. He was like always misbehaving, but he wasn't even just misbehaving, he was misbehaving to like try to show off, you know, like he almost thought it made him cool. And it wasn't like anyone was sitting there like, hey, do this stuff that puts us in a lot of danger. He would just do it. Like he would scream at the bus driver that there was a medical emergency, like fake stuff like that, fight kids all the time, bully everybody. And he always thought that whenever he would do that stuff that like he was really cool. Everyone was like, oh wow, look at him, he's such a rebel. But in reality, it was just really annoying. Like imagine a morning commute to work, right? But the entire time you're commuting to work, there's just some guy trying to fight you on the bus, right? He's like, hey man, you're an idiot and your face is stupid, let's throw hands. And you're like, dude, I just want to go to work. And he's like, no, not until we're done fighting. And you're like, dude, I really just want to go to work. But regardless, basically day in and day out, this kid would get on the bus, cause some type of like problem or situation, and everybody and the bus driver were very, very fed up with it, as you would be if someone just kept doing this like every day. And on this particular day, he had gone up to the front of the bus to try to like mess with the kids up there. Usually he would stay in the back of the bus and kind of hide from the bus driver because he was a little bit afraid of him. But you know, on this particular day, he was like, whatever, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna go mess with the kids on the front of the bus. And he took a kid's hat, wouldn't give it back, and when the kid really asked for it back, he like slapped him. And the bus driver saw it, obviously, because he was right near the front of the bus, and he's like obviously trying to stop it. So he yells back there to like stop that, give him back his hat. He can't do that. This is gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to talk about it after this. You need to go pick on somebody your own size, all that stuff, like the usual stuff you would tell a kid to try to like get him to leave him alone. Keep in mind, there's not really much he can do right now because he's driving a school bus, right? He's in charge of this like 6-ton machine while this kid's fighting behind him. Like, what do you want him to do? He's yelling at him, trying to get him to stop, but there's only so much you can do while still being in control of the motor vehicle, right? And the kid, instead of stopping, giving back the hat, and being a little bit embarrassed, decides to like double down and start insulting the bus driver and calls him a big tubby lard man and says he's not gonna do anything anyways. And at that point, the bus driver is like, all right, if I don't do something, none of these kids are gonna respect me. So he pulls over. They were in like a residential neighborhood. It's not like they're on the freeway, and he decides that he's gonna handle it. So he's pulling over, and as soon as he's pulling over, everybody's like, ooh, you're in trouble, ooh. And he gets up out of the bus driver's seat and he starts walking over to him, and he says, okay, listen, you need to go somewhere and not mess with anybody and sit down, otherwise I'm going to put you in the very special seat. You've never been there before, you've misbehaved a lot, so listen to me, you don't want to be there. So go to the back of the bus, leave everybody alone, stop bullying everybody, and let's just go to school and get this over with. And everybody's kind of like, ooh, because this bus driver was usually pretty cool. Him being serious like this was a little bit different. And instead of, you know, being like, yes, sir, and going to sit down, he just goes with, shut up, fatso, and then kicks him in the shin, dude, which is something more out of an Adam Sandler movie than behavior that you would expect on the school bus. Like, I know I called it the Wild West, but usually you don't just go, shut up, fatso, and kick somebody in the shin unless, like, your parents basically didn't raise you. You know what I mean? Like, your parents have to have tried to be bad parents for that to happen. So obviously everybody is like, oh my gosh, oh. And so the bus driver's very, very mad, and instead of reacting, he just kind of grimaces a bit. Like, he doesn't swear at him, he doesn't hit him, like nothing like that. He just goes, ooh, it looks like you want the special seat. Grabs the kid, right, picks him up, not in a violent way, not in an aggressive way, just kind of like to move him. And the entire time the kid's fighting it, trying to like squiggle out of his arms, and the bus driver's just like stronger than him, right? takes him up to the front. And apparently, so the bus driver seat's on the left, right? Apparently, there's a seat there that drops down. So he does it, and it's like almost like an airline like fold out seat, right? I don't know if this is on every bus. And he puts him in that chair, so he's right next to the bus driver, and he puts the seatbelt on him, and he's like, you're gonna sit there until we get to the school, and you're gonna deal with it. And at that point, he realizes the bus driver's pissed, so he's like, okay. And he's way too big for the chair. You know what I mean? Like, it's more embarrassing than anything. And so everybody kind of starts to laugh and take pictures, and he's obviously not very happy about it, but he's not gonna try to cross the driver now. Because at this point, you've like already made them mad. You basically got them trying to fight you. Like, it's just not worth it to push it further, and even he knows that, right? So he's just kind of sitting there pissed off about the embarrassment he has to endure sitting in this little seat, but the bus driver did warn him. Alright guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen, you'll see a gift card code. I give one away in every video I post. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and press the like button or your mom's a hoe, and hopefully you're enjoying the 12 days of Scrubs. Let's get back to it. Anyways, the bus gets to the school, the door opens, and he makes all the other kids get off, so they have to, like, walk by him in this little baby seat, right? And then he finally unbuckles him, and he gets off, and the bus driver steps off with him. I think he was gonna go into the school and do something. I don't really know, whatever, like, if he had to pee or if he had to, like, go talk to the administration. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's off the bus. And, you know, at that point, everybody's just kind of standing there, and the angry kid's not leaving, and the bus driver's like, are you mad at me or something? And at that point, the kid just decides, now's the time to act tough. You want to put me in the child seat, dude? And he like goes to hit him. The only problem is the kid's not actually that tough. Obviously, if you're actually tough, you don't need to be like fighting the bus driver. So he very, very obviously makes it apparent that he's going to hit him, right? And he does it like in the very slowest way possible. And so he swings his arm back and he's throwing this ginormous haymaker like in this big arch. And it basically gives the bus driver to have the situation we all dream of in our head when you're daydreaming. Because he like catches his fist out of the air. And it looks dope because he was trying to hit him, so he catches it. Obviously, it's not like The Rock is the person swinging this punch. Like, it was very slow, very telegraphed, but he has the moment where he like blocks the punch. And even a bunch of the kids that are watching were like, oh, because, you know, even if he's a slow puncher, like, it's still cool to watch somebody basically have a ninja moment where they just grab the punch out of the air and be like, you shouldn't have done that. And he has that too, because he says, well, I wouldn't have done that. You're not riding my bus anymore, pal. Which, you know, okay, the ending wasn't as cool as the beginning. Okay, kicking somebody off the school bus isn't the coolest thing you can do. But still, catching the punch out of the air and being like, huh, I wouldn't have done that. That's pretty sick. And so he has this radio on him, and he basically is like, I need administration out here now. And he looks around and sees that everybody's watching, and he's like, you guys need to go to class now. And so everybody starts going to class. Obviously, some of them are like dilly-dallying a bit so they can see the show. So he continues to shoo him off even more. He's like, seriously, get out of here. You guys don't need to be here. Get out of here. And so finally the subscriber is like walking away because he finally got, you know, told to really F off a little bit. Politer words. And as he's walking by, he sees the administration coming out. So it's like the security guard, the deans, and everything, and they're going to handle this situation. And so they know it's going to be pretty serious, right? And so what did he get from this other than just sitting in the child seat, which is already hilarious? And it wasn't literally a child seat. It was just like, you know what I mean. It was just obviously not a very large seat. Well, of course, the kid ended up getting in more trouble for hitting the bus driver than like the bus driver did for trying to not let him bully kids. He got suspended for like a couple days from school because obviously you can't just be letting people hit the bus driver and then have no consequences happen. Could you imagine the chaos if they made everybody think that was okay? And on top of that, dude, he got banned from riding the bus for the rest of the year. And that one, I think, is the ultimate like, oh, you messed up. Because obviously if you fight the bus driver, I feel like at that point they have a right to be like, no, I just don't really feel like driving that guy to school. How am I supposed to be safe operating this piece of machinery knowing that this dude might like sneak up on me and kick me? That's just not something I'm trying to do. I'm driving a bus full of crazy kids already. The last thing I want is one of them that's out to get me. So they suspend him from like the bus, right? But you know that one had to have been the least fun to explain to his parents ever, bro. Like, hey, mom and dad, you've got to rework your entire daily schedule because I tried to fight the bus driver and they suspended me from driving the bus. Not driving, riding. It would be even weirder if he was driving. But you know what I'm saying. I've got a feeling mom and dad are not going to be too happy if suddenly they've got to wake up even earlier or like go into work later just so they can take you to school because you tried to fight the bus driver. Because like I said, moral of the story is it's just not worth picking the fight with the guy that's driving the heavy machinery. That just seems like a really bad idea. And on top of it, man, it's like Do you really want to fight your bus driver? Even if he's not driving the bus, he is in charge of getting you places safely. It's just not someone that I feel like I would want to have a grudge against me, but to each their own. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast. You can check that out. And of course, you should use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. You get a discount on G Fuel. It helps me out, and you get the best energy drink ever. And yeah, other than that, I've got 2 more things that I want to shout out. First things first is the Spotify Storytime page. So go over to the link in the description. Feel free to listen to my story times on Spotify. You can listen offline without gameplay, whatever you prefer. And on top of that, we've got the Karen Christmas sweater. It can be yours by visiting the top link in the description. So be sure to go do that, get your festivities on. And yeah, on that note, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.